I'm Teresa Woodard with your headlines from North Texas. After a police K9's death, his former handler is now facing charges. The dog and the officer both worked for the Fairfield Police Department about 90 miles south of Dallas. But court documents say the dog was locked in a hot car in Ennis. According to investigators, Officer Joseph Silas came home from an overnight shift last month and locked K9 Officer Farrock in his patrol car. Investigators say Silas fell asleep and woke up the next afternoon to find the dog dead. Authorities arrested Silas for animal cruelty, and Fairfield police fired him the same day. Farrock was Fairfield's first ever K9. A single father is starting over after a fire destroyed his home in Grapevine. Adriana De Alba shows us how his community stepped up in a big way.
It's a bummer, for sure. Just the devastation.
This isn't just what a fire leaves behind.
Because fire, I've never experienced a fire, so it's not something that I ever thought about.
It's what a family is left to rebuild.
It just feels kind of surreal when you walk in there and you just see everything destroyed.
A collapsed ceiling, room after room wiped out. Last Tuesday, a fire started in the home Jordan Seaman rents on West Hudgens Street in Grapevine. Investigators say that fire started in the attic, and the cause still under investigation. The single dad of two young boys is just thankful they weren't home when the flames started.
By the time I actually saw the flames, it was going pretty good. Very fast, yeah. Within a matter of 5 or 10 minutes.
Everything they own damaged and destroyed, and he didn't have renter's insurance. Then a neighbor started a GoFundMe, and help hasn't stopped pouring in.
Not only did Grapevine firefighters battle the blaze, they then took it a step further to help this family bounce back.
A surprise cash donation from the Grapevine Firefighters Association.
The donation blew me away. I couldn't believe it. And I wasn't expecting the reception that we got and all of the people coming forward.
What's left of this house is a reminder of everything they lost.
It's crazy when you see the devastating power that fire can have.
But what's happened since may be what they remember most.
So much good has come out of this.
In Grapevine, I'm Adriana De Alba.
A North Texas veteran is reflecting on surviving war and showing resilience as he prepares to say I do. As Kevin Reese shows us, he calls July 4th his Alive Day, 16 years after surviving a devastating IED in Afghanistan.
Ears ringing. I tried to stand up. It was difficult.
Tom Henderson has a bit of a love-hate relationship with the 4th of July.
I think a lot of people take it for granted as just a day that you get to blow stuff up.
Because 16 years ago on July 4th, he was the one blown up.
Little did I know later in the day I would be the fireworks show.
An IED explosion in Afghanistan ripped through the Navy corpsman's body.
I figured I had some form of concussion. I noticed that my foot was no longer attached to my body.
His right leg would be amputated above the knee, and he had a traumatic brain injury, hearing loss, PTSD, but he also had help. An organization called the Simplify and America's Fund.
Very helpful in guiding me towards a more positive outlook that was beneficial rather than harmful.
The fund helped him financially and bought him a hand cycle to help get his life back on track.
This bike has gotten me through 5 different marathons
and
so far.
Helping now.
We're 7 days away, yep.
His fiancée, Rebecca, taking him on July 4th to a quiet cabin as far from fireworks as they can possibly get.
That day is a day to celebrate him as much as anything else. So I feel like he deserves to be able to enjoy it in peace.
Peace on what he calls his Alive Day, Saturday. They will also call it his Sweet 16.
We even have his Sweet 16 topper over there ready.
It's 16 years from the day that I didn't die.
Tom Henderson does want the nation to celebrate July 4th and all that it means, but he hopes veterans like him hear this message.
You don't have to face things alone. It's okay to reach out for help.
Help on Independence Day that so many of our veterans need. In Forney, I'm Kevin Reese.
A unique part of America's story is our connection to other nations, like the piece of British history that lives here in North Texas. Joan Puniker shows us how one couple connected with their legacy by making a trip across the pond.
And there they are. Jeez.
The Craven family took many years and many more miles to get here. To piece together a missing part of their family history.
It really is quite special, you know?
From England to Terrell, Texas, a journey for answers.
Nobody's ever been from the family in 80 years.
This is the British Flying Training School Museum.
I'll be seeing you.
And the answers sit on walls, on tables, even the tarmac.
It is historically the first of 6 schools.
So would this be the barracks or the
Yes.
where they?
Yep.
Colin's uncle Raymond Botcher was one of many British cadets
The trainer would sit there in the second seat.
taught to fly here during World War II.
Thank you for being here. I'm getting emotional even thinking about it.
On September 3rd, 1945, one day after Japan surrendered, Cadet Botcher received his wings.
But some never saw combat.
Just not the ones he trained for.
It's to the stage whereby, you know, you just don't want to talk about it. You don't mention it, you know? So we didn't.
Killed in a training flight not far from here.
There he is.
Cadet Botcher will forever be 21 years old.
They were all so young.
This chapel honors the nearly 24 cadets killed in training.
I probably still have more questions when I leave.
But I also see your mum in that picture.
Yeah.
The eyes and, you know, the look.
The Cravens have come this far.
Finally go and pay our respects.
Now, just a little further. A few miles from the museum in Terrell,
It's all kept very up together, isn't it?
Raymond Botcher's final resting place.
Absolutely. Wow. 80 years we waited for that. Yeah, we're the only ones in all that time.
Or so they thought.
There's a coin on the top, see that? What's the significance of the coin?
The coins on the headstones tell them someone has been here.
Doesn't feel like we're here in Texas. For some reason, I don't know, it feels like we're at home.
Yeah.
They flew thousands of miles from England only to be right at home. In Terrell, Texas, I'm Jobin Puniker.
We have good news for thrill seekers. Six Flags Over Texas in Arlington will open its record-breaking roller coaster Thursday, July 9th. Park officials say Tormenta is the tallest, fastest, and longest dive coaster in the world. Riders go well over 300 feet high before that thrilling first drop. The roller coaster is the centerpiece of a new village called Rancho de la Tormenta in the park's Spain area. I won't be trying it out. Those are your headlines from North Texas.